Welcome friends. In the previous lecture, we have drawn influence line diagram for overhanging beam and we have solved one example also. While solving example, we need not to make calculations for reaction, shear force and bending moment to draw influence line diagram. Now let us see how without making calculations we can draw influence line diagram for this overhanging beam. The overhang may be on any one side or maybe on both sides. So we have drawn influence line diagram for simply supported beam. Consider this beam AB as simply supported beam. For this simply supported beam, we know how to draw influence line diagram for reaction at A, RA. So we have drawn here influence line diagram for RA. When unit load is at A, reaction at A is equal to 1. And as unit load will move from A to B, reaction at A will go on reducing, and when unit load will be at B, reaction at A is equal to 0. So this is influence line diagram for simply supported beam AB of span L. Now for this simply supported beam, on either sides there is overhang. Let this distance DA is equal to E and overhang BA is equal to F. This point C, AC is equal to small a and CB is equal to B, AB is equal to L. So here let us see how to draw influence line diagram for this overhanging beam. Already we have made calculations and we have drawn influence line diagram. But here we are we are interested in how to draw influence line diagram without making those calculations. So simply extend this line on left hand side and on right hand side. So we have extended line here. We are getting some ordinate at D and ordinate at E. We know this is one triangle, another triangle. So these two are similar triangles. From similar triangles, let this ordinate is, only for sake of simplicity, let this ordinate is x, this ordinate is 1. So we are considering this triangle. So 1 upon L. This dimension is L, A to B. So we can write here 1 upon L is equal. This ordinate is x, we have assumed x, and this distance, this length of triangle, base of triangle, that is L plus E. So x upon L plus E. We can write this as x upon L plus E. Therefore x is equal to L plus E upon L. So we are getting this ordinate L plus E upon L. Now one triangle, another triangle, we have continued this line. Therefore these two are similar triangles. Let this ordinate is now y. So 1 upon L is equal to y upon F. 1 upon L is equal to y upon F. Therefore y is equal to F upon L. So this ordinate we are getting that is F upon L. You can verify both these ordinates. This is one we know that was for simply supported beam. You can verify both these ordinates, that is ordinate at D, L plus E upon L, and ordinate at E, F upon L. So directly without making calculations, simply by extending this line, we are getting influence line diagram for reaction at A. Similarly for influence line diagram for RB, extend this line on left hand side and on right hand side. So we are getting these ordinates. Now consider this triangle, triangle number 1, and this is second triangle. So both these are similar triangles. Now we can find these ordinates. So let this ordinate is x. So 1 upon L is equal to x upon E. 1 upon L is equal to x upon E. Therefore x is equal to E upon L. So we are getting this ordinate x is equal to E upon L. Now here, first triangle, second triangle. 1 upon L is equal to, let this ordinate is y. 1 upon L is equal to y upon L plus f. 1 upon L is equal to y upon L plus f. Therefore y is equal to L plus f upon L. So we are getting this ordinate L plus f upon L. Again you can verify whether the ordinates at D and E we have calculated right now and calculated earlier are same or not. Similarly, for impedance line diagram for shear force at C, for simply supported beam we have already drawn impedance line diagram for shear force at C. This ordinate is A upon L, this ordinate is B upon L. So at C, when unit load is at C and we are calculating shear force at C, we are getting two values of shear force. Therefore first value is minus A upon L and second value is plus B upon L. So this is impedance line diagram for shear force at C for simply supported beam AB of span L, where AC is equal to A and CB is equal to B. Here also, simply by extending this line on left hand side and on right hand side, we can draw impedance line diagram for shear force at C. Again, these two are similar triangles. So here we can write A upon L upon this dimension is A. So A upon L upon A is equal. Let this is x upon E is equal to x upon E. So we can write this as A upon A into L into E is equal to x. Therefore x is equal to E upon L. So we are getting this ordinate x is equal to E upon L. This is positive. Let this ordinate is y. Consider these two similar triangles. So B upon L upon this dimension is B. So B upon L upon B is equal to y upon F. Is equal to y upon F. Therefore y is equal to F upon L, as B will get cancelled. Here y is equal to F upon L, and this is negative as it is below baseline. Again you can verify whether the ordinates we have obtained at D and E and also at C are same or not. Now last one, here in this case, impedance line diagram for bending moment at C, extend simply this line and this line on right hand side. So here we have to consider these two triangles. So for this triangle, this ordinate is AB upon L upon A. AB upon L upon A is equal to, let this ordinate is x upon this is E is equal to x upon E. So we can write this as AB upon AL into E is equal to x. Therefore x is equal to EB upon L. AA will get cancelled. So this ordinate we are getting, that is EB upon L, and this is below baseline, therefore negative. Now for this ordinate, let this ordinate is Y, and for this ordinate we are going to consider these two similar triangles. This is AB upon L upon B. So AB upon L upon B is equal to Y upon F. So here we are getting Y is equal to FA upon L, as B will get cancelled. So here ordinate is FA upon L. You can verify whether ordinates we have obtained here and ordinates obtained in earlier lecture, they are same. So while drawing influence line diagram for reaction at A, reaction at B, reaction at C and bending moment at C, you need not to make calculations for this overhanging beam. If you remember these ordinates 1, B by L, A by L, AB upon L, then you can easily draw influence line diagram for this overhanging beam. Now remember, this overhang may be on left hand side, may be on right hand side, may be on both sides. So we have drawn here for both sides. Accordingly, if it is on any one of the side, you can make necessary appropriate changes. Now using this influence line diagram, let us solve one more example. An overhanging beam DACBE is given. DA is equal to 2 meter, AC is equal to 2 meter, CB is equal to 4 meter and BE is equal to 3 meter. As A and B is equal to 2 and 4 meter, this AB distance, that is L, is equal to 6 meter. On this beam, two wheel loads of 100 kN and 200 kN are moving over the entire span. Any load can lead the other. So means either 200 kN load or 100 kN load may lead each other. And for this situation, we are asked to calculate maximum positive shear force, maximum negative shear force, maximum positive bending moment and maximum negative bending moment. Now first case, let maximum positive shear force. To calculate maximum positive shear force, as we have solved some examples, we know to calculate maximum positive shear force, the load must be applied on the beam where the shear force diagram is positive. Now here we can see here and here, that means over length DA and CB, the shear force diagram is positive. So let us find these ordinates. This ordinate E upon L, E is equal to 2 meter, L is equal to 6. So instead of E upon L, let us write here 2 upon 6. Instead of B upon L, as B is equal to 4, L is equal to 6, let us write this as 4 upon 6. So this ordinate is positive 4 upon 6 and this ordinate positive 2 upon 6. Now when load is applied here, both or either any one, that is heavier one, will be multiplied by this ordinate, maximum ordinate. But when load is applied in these two wheel loads are applied here, these wheel loads are 0.8 meter apart. These loads are 0.8 meter apart. When these loads are applied here in this manner, that is 200 kilonewton and 100 kilonewton at 0.8 meter apart, this 200 will get multiplied by 2 by 6. So we know while calculating shear force, we are multiplying magnitude of the load by corresponding ordinate on the influence line diagram for shear force. But when load is applied here, that is at C and at 0.8 meter apart here, in this case any load can lead the other. The heavier load must be multiplied by larger ordinate. Therefore, here 200 kilonewton must be here and 100 kilonewton 0.8 meter apart on right hand side. Why on the right hand side? Because on right hand side of C there is positive shear force diagram. So this is not critical position for maximum positive shear force at C. This point is D. So this is the critical position, and we can find this ordinate at distance 0.8 meter. So this distance is 0.8 meter. Let us find ordinate at 0.8 meter on right hand side of C. So this distance is equal to 4 meter B to C, and this distance is 4 minus 0.8, that is 3.2 meter. So for length 4 meter, it is 4 upon 6. For length 3.2 meter, this ordinate is 3.2 upon 6. So we are getting this ordinate as 3.2 upon 6. The maximum positive shear force is equal to 200 into 4 upon 6 plus 100 into 3.2 upon 6 is equal to 400 into 4 upon 6 plus 200 into 4 upon 6 plus 100 into 3.2 upon 6. (186.667 kilonewton). So we are getting maximum positive shear force equal to 186.667 kilonewton for this critical position of load. So from this impedance line diagram, we have decided the critical position of these loads to obtain maximum positive shear force. Now maximum negative shear force. To find maximum negative shear force, we know these loads must act on the length where shear force diagram is negative. The shear force diagram is negative for AC and for BE. Thus, when load is applied over length AC or BE, we will get negative shear force. Let us find this ordinate. This ordinate is A upon L. A is equal to 2 and L is equal to 6. Therefore, this ordinate is 2 upon 6. And this ordinate is F upon L. F is equal to 3 and L is equal to 6. Ordinate is 3 upon 6. Thus, when load is applied here, the load will get multiplied by lesser ordinates. Instead of that, if load is applied here at E, it will get multiplied by larger ordinates, and therefore to get maximum negative value, it must be applied at E. While applying at E, one load is at E and other load at distance 0.8 meter from E on left hand side. Now which load must be on right hand side? 200 or 100? It must be 200. Why? Because when this 200 load is acting at E, then and then only the heavier load will be multiplied by larger ordinate. Now in this case, as this is negative diagram, this ordinate at distance 0.8 meter. We know this is 3 meter, this is 0.8 meter. So when this is 0.8 meter, this distance is 2.2 meter. This is 3 meter, this is 2.2 meter, and this is 0.2 meter, therefore this is 3 meter. For 3 meter length, this ordinate is 3 upon 6, and therefore for this 2.2 meter length, ordinate is 2.2 upon 6. So maximum negative shear force is equal to 200 into 3 upon 6 minus 200 into 3 upon 6 minus 100 into 2.2 upon 6. 100 into 2.2 upon 6. Is equal to minus 136.667 kilonewton. So maximum negative moment we are getting, that is 136.667 kilonewton. Now maximum positive shear force, maximum positive bending moment at C. We are calculating shear force and bending moment at C. So maximum positive bending moment. Now look at the impedance line diagram for bending moment at C. Let us first write ordinates, putting values of A, B, E and F. This ordinate is AB upon L. A is equal to 2, B is equal to 4. That is AB 2 into 4, 8, and L is equal to 6. Therefore this ordinate is 8 upon 6. This ordinate EB upon L, E is equal to 2, B is equal to 4. Therefore again it is 2 into 4, 8, and this ordinate is also 8 upon 6. This ordinate is FA upon L. F is 3, A is 2, 3 into 2, 6, divided by 6. Therefore this ordinate is 1 or 6 upon 6. We have found ordinates of, or all ordinates of impedance line diagram for bending moment at C. Now we want to find critical position of these two moving loads for maximum positive bending moment. Now look at the sketch. When load is applied between A and B, then and then only we will get positive value of bending moment. But for maximum bending moment, if the heavier load is being multiplied by larger ordinate, then the value of bending moment will be maximum. So consider this critical position. Consider this critical position here. If the load is applied in this manner, then this 200 kilonewton will get multiplied by larger ordinate, that is 8 upon 6. Now this 100 kilonewton load, whether this 100 kilonewton load should be on right hand side of C or should be on left hand side of C. This is smaller distance, this is larger distance. So obviously here, if the load is placed on left hand side, this ordinate at distance 0.8 meter and this ordinate at distance 0.8 meter. Obviously this ordinate will be smaller, and therefore this 100 kilonewton load must be placed on right hand side of C. So let us find this ordinate at 0.8 meter from C. We know this distance is equal to, this is 0.8 meter and this is 4 meter. So 0.8, 4 minus 0.8, that is 3.2 meter. For 4 meter length, this ordinate is 8 upon 6, and therefore for 3.2 meter length, let us write this 8 upon 6 here, 8 upon 6. For this 3.2 meter, this ordinate is 6.4 upon 6. From similar triangles we have calculated this. Now maximum positive bending moment, 200 multiplied by 8 upon 6 plus 100 multiplied by 6.4 upon 6. So 200 multiplied by 8 upon 6 plus 100 into 6.4 upon 6. This is equal to 373.333 kilonewton meter, maximum positive bending moment. Next is maximum negative bending moment. For maximum negative bending moment, you can see impedance line diagram for bending moment at C. When load is applied over length DA or over length BE, we will get maximum negative bending moment. But In this case, this ordinate is 6 upon 6 and this ordinate is 8 upon 6. Length is 3 meter and this length is 2 meter. So here we have to verify where the load should be applied. Let us make calculations for both positions. Let us consider this position first. Actually, we are verifying, that's why we are calculating for both positions. Actually, if you are definitely knowing for which position we will get maximum load, you need not to make calculations twice. So let us make calculations for both positions. Maximum negative bending moment is equal. So we have considered these positions of load. So when load is 0.8 meter on left hand side of E, this ordinate is equal. This is 6 upon 6 and this length is 3. So this length is 3 minus 0.8, that is 2.2. So this ordinate is 4.4 upon 6. 6 upon 6 and 4.4 upon 6. So for these positions, 200 into 6 upon 6 minus 200 into 6 upon 6 minus 100 into 4.4 upon 6. Maximum negative bending moment is minus 273.333. When the load is applied here, right now we don't know for which critical position we are getting maximum negative bending moment. So let us see, let us apply load here at D and at 0.8 meter on right hand side of D. This is 200 kilonewton and this is 100 kilonewton. For this distance is 0.8 meter. This total is 2 meter. So this remaining distance is 2 minus 0.8, that is 1.2 meter. So this ordinate is 8 upon 6 for 2 and therefore this ordinate is 4.8 upon 6. So for this position of two moving loads, let us calculate bending moment. Obviously, we can see maximum ordinate is 6 upon 6, this is 8 upon 6, this is 4.4 upon 6, this is 4.8 upon 6. So we will get maximum bending moment, maximum negative bending moment for this position of two loads instead of this position. Let us verify. So maximum negative bending moment, this is equal to 200 into 8 upon 6, that is minus 200 into 8 upon 6 minus 100 into 4.8 upon 6, 100 into 4.8 upon 6 is equal to minus 346.666 kilonewton meter. So this is maximum bending moment. This bending moment is more than 273, therefore this is maximum and this is not critical position for maximum negative bending moment. Thus for given overhanging beam, we have calculated maximum positive shear force, maximum negative shear force, maximum positive bending moment and maximum negative bending moment and respective critical positions of moving loads when any load can lead the other. We are familiar with compound beams. So beams are for compound beams we are asked to draw influence line diagram for various functions such as shear force, bending moment or reactions. One of the compound beam is shown, ABCD. Beam ABCD is supported at A, B and D. At C there is internal hinge. So this is compound beam. The beam is compound because of this internal hinge. Otherwise if it is supported on 3 supports only without internal hinge, this beam would have been indeterminate. But as there is internal hinge, this beam is determinate beam. Now for this beam, we are asked to draw influence line diagram for reaction at A, reaction at B, reaction at D, and bending moment at B. Now, before drawing influence line diagram for such compound beams, we have learned how to analyze this compound beam. You have already studied how to analyze compound beam, means how to calculate support reaction shear force for compound beam in your previous semester. Now, let us first calculate reactions for this compound beam. While analyzing this compound beam, the beam is analyzed in this manner. So, the beam is supported at A and at B as it is here. So, beam is separated at the hinge. Beam is separated at the hinge. Thus, there are two parts of beam. This part A, B, C and this part C, D. But this CD part, when it is loaded, will not remain in equilibrium unless it is supported at C. This hinge at C offers reaction at C. This is RC and this is RD. So this reaction at A are A and RB. So if for beam CD, reaction at C is upward, to maintain equilibrium at the hinge at C for beam ABC, this reaction must be downward. So these two reactions which are acting at C, upward and downward, will balance at the hinge, will compensate. So in this manner, we can separate beam ABC at the internal hinge, and now from this compound beam we have made, or this compound beam we have converted into two beams. So these dimensions will remain as it is, 4 meter and 2 meter, and this is 3 meter. Forget what we have already calculated earlier for simply supported beam and overhanging beam. Or if you can remember, then easily we can make these calculations. But if you don't remember and you have to analyze here once again, then consider unit load anywhere on right hand side of A on beam ABC. So we have considered unit load acting anywhere on right hand side of A. Consider unit load at distance x from A. Consider free body diagram of beam CD. Consider FBD of beam CD. For this beam, there is no any load acting on the beam CD. As there is no any load, RC and RD is equal to 0, because RC plus RD is equal to 0. Therefore, RC and RD both should be equal to 0. So we can write here RC is equal to RD is equal to 0. When unit load is anywhere between A and C. Consider unit load at distance x from A between A and C. When unit load is between A and C, obviously there is no load on beam CD, and therefore reactions at C and D are equal to 0. Now we know this RC is equal to 0, because here we have calculated RC is equal to 0. So now we are consider free body diagram of beam ABC. We are considering this free body diagram of beam ABC. For this beam ABC, RC is already equal to 0. So we have written here RC is equal to 0. Now how many forces are acting on the beam? RA, unit load, and RB. There is RC, but RC is equal to 0. Therefore we are not considering RC. Only 3 forces are acting on the beam. Let us apply analytical conditions of equilibrium. Therefore summation MFA is equal to 0. Algebraic sum of moments of all forces about any coplanar point, that is about point A. Therefore we have written here A. Instead of A, if we are taking moment about B, we would have written B. So summation MFA is equal to 0. RA is passing through A, its moment about A is equal to 0. 1 into X is equal to RB into 4. So this is equal to L. So 1 into X is equal to RB into 4. Therefore RB is equal to 1 into X is equal to RB into 4. Therefore RB is equal to X upon 4. So this is generalized equation for RB for any position of unit load between A and C. For any position of load between A and C, we will get RB using this equation. Now apply second condition, next condition of equilibrium. Summation Fy is equal to 0. Algebraic sum of vertical forces is equal to 0. That means RA plus RB is equal to 1. So we can write here RA plus RB is equal to 1, and therefore RA is equal to 1 minus RB, that is 1 minus X upon 4 is equal to 4 minus X upon 4. This is nothing but X upon L and L minus X upon L, which we have calculated earlier. So here we have obtained generalized equations for RA and RB when unit load is between A and C. RC and RD are equal to 0. Thus, now we have generalized equations for RA, RB, RC and RD. Let us calculate values of RA, RB, RC and RD for all positions of unit load. Let us consider this first. When unit load is at A, X is equal to 0. Therefore, RA is equal to what we can write RA? RA is equal to 4 minus X upon 4. That is 4 minus 0 upon 4. That is 4 upon 4. Therefore, RA is equal to 1. RB is equal to X upon 4. X is equal to 0. RB is equal to 0. RC is equal to 0 and RD is equal to 0. So when unit load is at A, we have calculated, we have found values of RA, RB, RC and RD. Second case, when unit load is at B, here from A, now unit load is at B. When unit load is at B, X is equal to 4. This distance, X is equal to 4. So putting this value of X, RA is equal to. RA is equal to 4 minus 4, 0. Therefore RA is equal to 0. RB is equal to 4 upon 4. X is equal to 4. Therefore 1. And RC is equal to RD is equal to 0. When unit load is at C. Third case, when unit load is at C, X is equal to, this distance is X, X is equal to 6 meter. So X is equal to 6 and therefore RA is equal to, we know what is RA? RA is equal to 4 minus X upon 4. X is equal to 6. that is 4 minus 6, that is minus 2 upon 4. RB is equal to x upon 4. X is equal to 6. Therefore, E is equal to 6 upon 4. RC is equal to RD is equal to 0. Thus, here in this case, when unit load will move from A to C, we have calculated reactions RA, RB, RC and RD for various positions of unit load from A to C. Using these positions of unit load, we can draw influence line diagram for RA, RB, RC and RD. Actually, influence line diagram for RC is not asked. We can draw influence line diagrams for RA, RB and RD up to C, that is from A to C, because for positions of unit load from C to D we have not made any calculations. So let us draw influence line diagrams for RA, RB and RD when unit load is moving from A to C only, and for C to D, after making calculations, let us complete influence line diagram. Why I am doing this? Because I have limited space, and if continuously I will make calculations for next position of unit load from C to D, I have to erase this and I have to rub this, and afterwards there will not be values with me to plot influence line diagrams. So we are doing in this manner right now. Let us first draw influence line diagram for reaction at A. Now when unit load is at A, RA is equal to 1. So this is equal to 1, we know. When unit load is at B, RA is equal to 0. When unit load at C, RA is equal to minus 2 upon 4. So this is 1, 0 and minus 2 upon 4. Up till we have drawn influence line diagram up to C only, because we have considered unit load at distance x between A and C only. So therefore we have considered unit load moving from A to C. That's why diagram is drawn up to C only. This is influence line diagram for reaction at A. Influence line diagram for reaction at B. When unit load is at A, RB is equal to 0. When unit load is at B, RB is equal to 1. So this is equal to 1, this is 0. And when unit load is at C, RB is equal to 6 upon 4, means more than 1. So this here we have written 6 upon 4. The diagram is drawn up to C only, as we have made calculations for different positions of unit load between A and C. When unit load is at A, RD is equal to 0. When unit load is at B, RD is equal to 0. When unit load is at C, RD is equal to 0. Means from A to C, when unit load will move from A to C, reaction at D is equal to 0. So diagram will remain as it is. So here we can write influence line diagram for RB, and this is influence line diagram for RD. Still we have not made calculations for bending moment at B. So we are not drawing right now influence line diagram for bending moment at B. We have made calculations for various values of RA, RB and RD for different positions of unit load from A to C. Now let us keep this diagram as it is and make calculations for different positions of unit load from C to D. Consider unit load at distance x from C, between C and D. Up till now we have made calculations for various positions of unit load between A and C. Now let us consider different positions of unit load between C and D. So let us consider first unit load at distance x from C. Therefore, applying equilibrium conditions. Now here we have to consider free body diagram of both beams, that is beam CD and beam AC. Initially considering free body diagram of beam CD. So let us consider free body diagram of beam CD. Considering free body diagram of beam CD, this is simply supported beam, and if the generalized equations which we have written earlier are written directly, that will be more easier if you remember. Or let us make calculations once again. Taking moment about C. So algebraic sum of moments of all forces about C is equal to 0. Therefore 1 into x is equal to RD into 3. So 1 into x is equal to RD into 3. RD is equal to x upon 3. RB is equal to x upon L, and this is L minus x upon L. So summation of y is equal to 0. Therefore RC plus RD is equal to 1, and therefore RC is equal to 1 minus RD, that is 1 minus x upon L, that is 3 minus x upon 3. These are generalized equations for reaction at D and reaction at C for all positions of unit load between C and D. Now we are considering unit load is moving from C to D. Earlier we have considered unit load moving from A to C. But for these positions of unit load between C and D, we have prepared generalized equations for RD and RC. But we need reactions RA and RB also. We need magnitudes of reactions of RA and RB when unit load will move from C to D. So when unit load is moving from C to D, definitely RC is not equal to 0. So here now unit load is not between A and C. Unit load is between C and D. But here for beam ABC there is reaction RC. RC has certain value. So let us consider free body diagram of beam ABC. Consider free body diagram of beam ABC. Summation MF A is equal to 0. Moment is taken about A. RA into 0. RB into 4 plus RC into 6 minus RB into 4. RC into 6 is equal to RB into 4. RB is equal to RC into 6 upon 4. But RC is known to us. So we can write here RB is equal to, therefore RB is equal to, RC is equal to 3 minus x upon 3. So 3 minus x upon 3 into 6 upon 4. This is generalized equation for RB. For various positions of unit load between C and D. And what is x? X is distance of unit load from C. So remember this. And summation of y is equal to 0. Therefore RA, look at the sketch. RA plus RB is equal to RC. RA plus RB is equal to RC. And we have calculated RB. Therefore RA is equal to RC minus RB. Now instead of putting this value here and making it complicated, because already we are calculating RC, RB also we are calculating here, therefore directly putting values of RC and RB, we will get reaction at A. So we have prepared here generalized equation for reaction at A, generalized equation for reaction at B, generalized equation for reaction at C, and generalized equation for reaction at D for various positions of unit load between C and D. So these are generalized equations. Now using these generalized equations, let us find reactions at A, B, C and D when unit load is at C and unit load is at D. So first, when unit load is at C, unit load is at C, x is equal to 0, this distance x is equal to 0. So RC is equal to 3 minus 0 upon 3, that is 3 upon 3. So RC is equal to 1, RD is equal to x is equal to 0, 0 upon 3, 0, and RB is equal to, so RB is equal to RC into 6 upon 4, RC is equal to 1, therefore RB is equal to 6 upon 4, RA is equal to RC minus RB, RC is equal to 1, RB is equal to 6 upon 4, therefore E is equal to RC minus RB, RC is equal to 1, RB is equal to 6 upon 4, 1 minus 6 upon 4, or we can write 4 minus 6 upon 4, that is minus 2 upon 4. We have for position of unit load at C, we have found reactions. Now when unit load is at D, x is equal to, unit load is at D, x is equal to 3, x is equal to 3. I want to bring your notice, already for position of unit load at C, considering unit load over the beam ABC, we have calculated RA, RB, RC and RD. So when unit load is at C, RA is equal to what we are getting, minus 2 upon 4, that is minus 2 upon 4. RB is equal to 6 upon 4, 6 upon 4, and RD is equal to 0, so 0. So actually this was not necessary to make calculations once again for position of unit load at C, only to verify this and only to make you know for both positions we are going to get same values. We have written this. If you have understood this, you need not to write this once again. You can directly go for position of unit load at D. Now unit load is at D, x is equal to 3, RC is equal to, what is generalized equation? 3 minus x upon 3, x is equal to 3, 3 minus 3 0, therefore RC is equal to 0. RD is equal to x upon 3, x is equal to 3, therefore 3 upon 3, that is 1, RD is equal to 1, RB is equal to, here we have made calculations for RB. RB is equal to RC into 6 upon 4. RC is equal to 0. Therefore, RB is equal to 0. And RA is equal to RC minus RB. RC minus RB is equal to 0. Thus, we are getting these values of various reactions. Now, when unit load is at C, already we have made calculations. Consider unit load at D. So unit load is at D, RA is equal to 0. So from here it is becoming 0. RB is equal to 0, so it is also becoming 0, and RD is equal to 1. And this was 0 and this is positive, so this is becoming 1 positive. So these are influence line diagram for this compound beam for reactions Ra, Rb and Rd. Now in the next lecture, let us see how to make calculations for influence line diagram for bending moment at B, and we will see how to solve examples on this compound beam. Thank you.